To our distinguished guest, QS Cassius Kusenye, MBS, Acting Housing Secretary, welcome. To our honorable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, again, good morning. It is my sincere privilege to welcome you to the REITs Association of Kenya African REITs Conference 2026. Your presence reflects a shared conviction that real estate, Africa's most consequential asset class, must become more transparent, accessible, and connected to global capital markets. We are honored to convene developers, investors, fund managers, regulators, capital markets leaders, as well as global REIT experts, underscoring the scale of opportunity ahead. Real estate remains the largest store of wealth globally. Estimates from Savills and McKinsey place its global value at between $300 and $330 trillion, dwarfing global equities, which are at a value of about $100 trillion, and far exceeding all other asset classes combined. In advanced economies, real estate typically represents 50 to 65% of household net worth, with home ownership rates at between 60 to 70%. In emerging markets, including in Kenya and in our sister economies across Africa, real estate's share of household wealth rises to about 70 to 85%. That's not because real estate in these less developed economies is more productive, but due to limited alternatives. As such, real estate remains the primary inflation hedge and store of intergenerational wealth in Africa, yet the systems underpinning it remain underdeveloped. The paradox is clear. African populations are highly reliant on real estate as a store of wealth, yet the capital embedded within it remains difficult to unlock. Structural constraints in the housing sector, such as insecure or informal property rights, shallow mortgage markets, limit access, monetization, and mobility. Parallel constraints exist within formal real estate markets, where aging stock is increasingly misaligned with modern occupier demand. And for those who frequent Nairobi CBD, you'll know that that is apparent. The result is what economist Hernando de Soto, in his somewhat controversial publication, The Mystery of Capital, Why Capitalism Triumphs in the West and Fails Everywhere Else, established the term dead capital or trapped capital, being real estate assets that are occupied, valued, and unable to be enhanced, monetized, or deployed productively for broader economic activity. Addressing this requires action on two fronts. Structurally, by strengthening land tenure, enriching property rights, and deepening mortgage markets. And institutionally, by mobilizing institutional capital at scale to develop, aggregate, and reposition real estate assets into investment-grade platforms, capable of delivering resilient income and long-term value. REITs, in my view, are central to this transformation, not merely as investment vehicles, but as mechanisms for democratizing real estate ownership. By pooling capital, providing liquidity, and enforcing governance and disclosure standards, REITs can channel institutional capital into real estate at scale, while enabling broader participation by citizens as investors not just as occupiers. REITs can fundamentally reshape access to real estate wealth and align capital with inclusive growth. This conference marks a shift from building foundations, which the REIT Association of Canada has been championing, towards scaling and deepening. We will examine regulatory and tax reforms, cross-border REIT harmonization, and the role of transparency in unlocking institutional capital. We will also explore evolving REIT structures, specialized asset classes, ESG integration, climate finance, pension fund participation, particularly our local pension funds, prop tech, and the financing of Africa's rapidly urbanizing cities. I remain deeply optimistic. Strengthening regulation, growing institutional appetite, and a new generation of practitioners who combine local insights and global standards are creating the conditions for a transformative decade ahead. The task before us is to convert potential into action. At this conference, I encourage you to engage fully, to challenge, to collaborate, and to build partnerships that will define the next phase of Africa's REIT evolution. And so on behalf of the conference organizing committee, the participants whose efforts I acknowledge and greatly appreciate, we welcome you to the Africa REITs Conference 2026. And with those few remarks, I'd like to welcome the person to whom the buck stops ultimately. As the chairman of the REITs Association of Africa, he wears many hats. He's also the managing director of Nation Media Group. But Jeff has been an advocate for the REITs Association since inception. We are following in your footsteps, and we look forward to your remarks. Thank you very much.